A narcissist is somebody who lacks empathy, is grandiose, is entitled, is constantly seeking validation, is arrogant. It's a disorder of self-esteem, and they have trouble regulating their self-esteem. But when a narcissist does a bad thing, they feel a fair amount of guilt and shame. More shame than guilt, frankly, because they're concerned about how other people view them. Psychopath's a different animal. They're all of those things except no guilt, no shame. Wow. They don't feel remorse when they do something bad. They're great serial killers, hired assassins, people who are gonna go in and literally sort of gut a business. These are your guys. They're like, I don't care who gets hurt.
When it comes to Douma, the best way to analyze such character is kinda difficult. For example, when we take a look at a character like Agasa and try to compare Agasa to Douma, most people will say that Agasa is by far the better demon, and they would be correct. But why is that? I mean, think about it real quick. Douma kills people as any normal demon does, and so does Agasa. Yet Douma is way worse compared to Agasa. But again, why? Is it because Agasa does not kill women that he is better than Douma?
Nope.
The real reason why Agasa is viewed to be quote-unquote better than Douma is because of his backstory and what made him become this psychopath we see today. Keyword become, whereas Douma was born a psychopath.
Very early on, before your puberty, you have to be involved in something that's really traumatic. Not a little stress, not being spanked or something, but really seeing violence or being involved in it in 3D, right? This is how the mirror neuron system works. And so if you have that gene, and you see a lot of violence in a certain situation, this is the recipe for disaster, absolute disaster.
On the other hand, we have Douma, the complete opposite of Agasa in childhood. Douma was given everything from a very young age. Wealth, status, respect, I mean everything. He was born into a family of cult leaders, and as the heir to this family, he was anointed as a special child. I mean, his eyes being born a special color gave it all away. He was a child who could communicate to God. They thought at least. But Douma as a child realized that these people and all the grown-ups were in fact deluded and fools. He didn't have any supernatural abilities at all. One day in front of Douma, his mother would kill his father because the father was a player and he cheated on her with a cult member. And after she killed him, she would then end up taking her own life. As a child, seeing your mother killing your father right in front of you would send any young kid to complete and utter shock. But not Douma. He was just annoyed by the pungent smell of blood. After taking over the family business and becoming the heir to the Paradise Faith cult, a position in which Douma enjoyed and loved, he would one day run into Musan and he would become a demon around his early 20s. This would just add to Douma's psychopathic traits and enhance it 10 times. Based on these two characters' past, you could see who was groomed to be a psychopath and who was born a psychopath. Imagine someone who does not care for anyone or anything, and then giving that psychopath the ability to live forever and insanely strong powers on top of that. That is exactly what Douma had become. Before becoming a demon, like I said, Douma had everything in life someone could want: wealth, respect, power, and followers. But what he lacked was he was just a human at the end of the day who would one day grow old and die. Becoming a demon made Douma realize and take his already messed up ideas of how he viewed himself to another level. Douma believed that whenever he consumed a human, he was merely taking all their pain away, especially those who were women. Douma loved devouring women as a demon because, as explained by him, women had more nutritional benefits than men because of them having, the ability to carry babies inside them. Douma believed all their sufferings and pain would go away after he consumed them, and they would just live inside him in harmony. This was the twisted lie Douma had told himself and other people to justify his actions. When it comes to his relationship with other demons, especially the Uppermoons, Douma is completely oblivious of their dislike towards him, especially Agasa's. Douma views Agasa as his best friend. And let's just say Agasa doesn't see Douma anywhere near close to that, especially because of Douma, who had been a demon way less of a time than Agasa, had become and rose up to the rank of Uppermoon 2. He went from Uppermoon 6 all the way up to Uppermoon 2 in such a short time. And here is where the most chilling and fascinating theory about Douma comes in. As we know, when Douma appeared in the flashback of the twins, he was labeled Uppermoon 6, and when we see him 100 years later, he held the seed of Uppermoon 2. And it was quite strange to see a demon ring up that fast in such a short period of time, unless there was a way. When it comes to demons, they become stronger the more humans they devour. And what is the fastest way and the most nutritional way to do that? Eating women. Douma, due to his unlimited supply of food because of his followers within the Paradise Faith cult being mostly females, he consumed a massive quantity of young women, and due to that became insanely strong and overpowered the previous Uppermoon 2. As explained by Kokushibo, if a demon wants to take a higher number within the 12 Kisuki, they have to challenge that said demon and take their spot and defeat it. And we also know that if the previous Uppermoon 2 had been defeated by a Hashira, or Musan just got rid of him because Musan got annoyed with him, the next demon in line would take up that position. So that would have put Agasa in the second C. But of course, that did not happen. Douma moved from 6 to 2, meaning he challenged the former Uppermoon 2 and killed them and devoured them. This is where this theory becomes even more crazy. What if the lady we always see whenever Douma unleashes his blood demon R, this particular woman was the older holder of the title of Uppermoon 2? Whenever Douma uses his blood demon R, you see a woman made of ice. This might be due to his fascination of eating women, but you only see the same woman and not other women, just one. So who is she? Why is she the only one to appear in his blood demon R? Is it because she was the previous holder of the title? After all, if he killed and ate her, her powers probably went to him as well, but she still appears in his blood demon R. Remember, Douma says he eats his followers to save them, and they're a part of him. So when he ate the previous Uppermoon 2, she appears in his blood demon art because she's always quote-unquote a part of him. It makes a lot of sense as to why the same woman is there and why Douma got the ring before Agasa. Agasa will not kill a woman, which is why he never thought to go for the Upper Ring 2 until Douma became Upper Ring 2. Overall, the theory is that Douma only managed to surpass Agasa because the previous holder was a woman, which Agasa, does not want to fight a woman. But because Douma will only eat women, he went for the title instead, defeating her, eating her, and absorbing her, which would explain who this ice woman is and how Agasa only went after the title when Douma got it. I get it, it's kind of a far reach, but it kind of explains a lot, man, because when you see Agasa and his moral code of not wanting to eat women, because he had to, if he defeated Upper Ring to consume her, this would go against everything that he stood for. Even though he wanted power, even though he wanted strength and challenge the strongest, he did not want to challenge the former Upper Ring 2, who was a woman. What I love the most about this theory, by the way, is that the older Uppermoon 2 demon being a woman. This particular woman exactly. And it kind of makes sense, especially when you think about how Douma claims his victims basically live inside him. And when you figure out that if a demon is another demon, he basically gains the power and blood demon are of that said demon. Why wouldn't she live inside him? It really sucks that we did not have an entire arc that was dedicated to Douma himself rather than some chapters, because Douma has got to be easily the most fascinating and interesting demon within the entire series. And honestly, I'm kind of praying that we get some sort of a Kaden, and in that Kaden we see more of his day-to-day lifestyle. Thanks for watching.